Okay, my name is Sara Leon. My title is Project Manager, and happy to be with EDiS. So the most challenging aspect of my role I find to always keep things moving. There's an importance of keeping the sense of urgency of completing things in a timely fashion so that everybody can collaborate, submit, participate in the job with enough time to accommodate all the obstacles or unknowns that may happen. We cannot predict the future, but we can do a good job preparing for it. I think that's always in every job. It doesn't matter whether it is a renovation or a new project. It requires that level of attention in seeking what are the potential problems, and once you know the question, then seeking the answer. And that can be challenging. It can be challenging to obtain the answers in a timely fashion. I have to say it's been a process. My journey has been one that started in architecture and design mostly. As I began my career in architecture, I started to get involved more in the construction phase of each project, and enjoyed that seeing things come to become reality, and that probably was the aha moment, realizing that I grabbed a lot of satisfaction seeing what was initially a very schematic idea into a final product. Eventually I became involved more and more in the construction side of the industry, and now I find myself that a lot of the talents and strengths that I had from very early on in my life are well suited for construction. It has changed a lot. It has been a discovery of roles and I think gender differentiation in the roles of the industry since I started. I think it has come a long way. Initially, the idea of women leading or having a say in the decision processes in a project has become much more mainstream than when I started working, even as a young project architect. So nowadays, I think it's very welcoming and, if not, very comfortable compared to 20 years ago, where you would have a team sitting in a round table discussing a project and see that not only men or women, but also minorities and different ages, and I think it's something that it's come a long way, and it still will keep on changing, because many of the people that came to be in positions of authority particularly women that came to be in positions of authority, probably started they had not reached the peak of their careers. So we will see a lot more participation on that. So I'm a big proponent of learning and expose yourself to as many diverse experiences as you can, as early as you can, just to figure out there's so much to offer in the construction industry, and there's so many roles that it's really hard to choose early on. One organization that I like and I support is the ACE Mentor Program of America, and it takes high school students, and we meet with different industry professionals from the architectural, engineering, and construction industry, and basically showcase what each one of us does and how we collaborate into the construction and the making of and development of projects. The earlier you see these roles, the earlier you see the different points of view, perspectives, or levels of involvement, the better, because there are so many career choices in the construction industry that it can be overwhelming. So if that is something of interest, and it doesn't matter whether it is if you're good at math or not good at math, I think it's the best way to expose yourself to really what this is about, what construction is about. I think the advice I go back to a lot of second guessing my questions. There's not a bad question. Sometimes we're intimidated by the knowledge that other people of the team may have regarding the technical aspects of construction. There's so much to learn. There's so many ways of doing things that truthfully, there's not a bad question. And sometimes even bringing a question from a point of ignorance, like I don't know how to build a foundation wall, but I do have a question about the sequencing, could bring very important topics to the table that no one else has considered. Losing that insecurity as a woman or as any other person early on, it's one piece of advice that I wish I had adopted, because I think sometimes you feel intimidated by the amount of knowledge that that this industry involves in. But no, I think there are no bad questions. Every project is unique, and all the aspects that are never completely envisioned early on. So it doesn't matter where it comes from. We all have something to give and collaborate.